Hello, traveler. Welcome to this video on conditioning. No matter who you are, you've been shaped. You've been shaped by family. You've been shaped by culture. And you've been shaped by experiences that have left deep, deep marks in some cases. This shaping is what we call conditioning. Now, conditioning is not good or bad. It just simply is. But if we don't see it clearly, it can ruin and run our lives. So what is it? What is this thing called conditioning? So conditioning is an invisible influence of your environment, your relationships, and your experiences. It shows up as the beliefs you hold, the roles you play, the habits that seem automatic. Psychology calls it reinforcement. Spiritual traditions call it illusion. Human design calls it the not self. Whatever the language, the message is the same. Conditioning is the layer that covers your true design. So how does conditioning happen? Conditioning usually enters through three main gateways. First, family and early environment. The rules and roles you absorbed without question. You had no choice. Like don't rock the boat or work hard to deserve love. Second, culture and society. Media, education, religion, and our peers. These shape the ideas of success, beauty, work, and even rest. And third, personal experiences and trauma. Moments of rejection or failure, moments of triumph and praise. Each one etches patterns into our response. And remember, conditioning is strongest when it's repeated, delivered by authority, and charged with emotion. So what happens to us after years of conditioning? Well, we create adaptive identities, the achiever, the caretaker, the rebel. We carry these limiting beliefs, the shoulds and can'ts that box us in. We fall into behavioral loops, automatic reactions that bypass choice. And we experience disconnection from self, living from someone else's script instead of our own inner compass. In human design, this looks like not self themes. We call this frustration if you're a generator, or bitterness for projectors, or anger for manifestors, disappointment for reflectors. But conditioning isn't all negative. Some imprints are actually gifts, encouragement, resilience, curiosity. These can strengthen us just as powerful. So how do we move beyond it? Well, the goal is not to erase conditioning, not to get rid of it. You can't. But the goal is to become aware, to reclaim choice. You might ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Who is the authority figure I learned it from? What benefits do I have from still holding on to it? And what happens if I release it? The unknown. Practices that help include journaling to notice autopilot patterns, deconditioning through human design, letting the body lead. And then my favorite, shadow work, discovering the gifts that are behind the shadow and imprint of this conditioning. And contemplation, sitting with the pattern without rushing to fix it. Conditioning is the residue of influence. Some of it is a gift, some of it can be chains. The work of the traveler is not to reject conditioning, but to discern it. It is to pause. It is to pivot, and it is to merge back into alignment with the compass within. When we do this, we act not from imprints of others, but from the truth of who we are.